Shakespeare's Vortigern and Rowena by Melissa Murray.
If you could move, sirs, this is where Mr. Kemble makes his entrance.
He stands here, Father. This is where Mr. Kemble makes his entrance. Or rather, where he, the mundane man, the actor, takes his exit. And Vortigern, King of the Britons, makes his first majestical appearance in 1 hour.
This is quite the most marvellous...
And mine.
Such a very...
skilled and able a performer. Though I think Mr. Kemble wears the honour of being first to speak these lost lines of Shakespeare's a little too lightly. That is my opinion.
He is a Catholic, of course.
Pardon?
It might mean that he does not... he cannot feel as we Englishmen feel on such an occasion, well, such a...
Here are the ladies, come to get our blessings and good wishes. Ladies, I think you've met my father. May I introduce Mrs. Powell? Edmunda, poor, wretched wife of Vortigern.
Sir.
Oh, my beloved queen. Oh. Turn those tear-worn eyes and let one smile, one cheering look of sweet serenity beam forth to comfort my afflicted soul.
Those are my lines, sir, and you missaid them. Oh, my beloved mother, turn those tear-worn eyes and let one smile, one cheering look of sweet serenity beam forth to comfort my afflicted soul.
You may be afflicted, Mrs. Jordan. I am not in the least, I assure you. I have engagements to last me this season.
You do not appear... You do not...
look old enough to be this lady's mother.
Do you think so? How kind a compliment to one or other of us.
Hush! Hush! Tonight, a good ghost walks among us. Can you not feel it? Can you not feel him? His dusty shade, poor William.
And we have Mr. Ireland here to thank for all the honours that will be heaped upon us. If he had not found the play, why think, what then? Catastrophe! The theatre ruined. Think what we owe this noble youth, your son.
Kind. Very kind. What...
Father?
That noise... rumbling.
That, dear sir, is our enemy, our adversary, and our darling love. That is our audience, come keen and early to witness wonders.
The audience? What do they mean by letting in the audience so soon? Infidels! A glass of mulled wine, I think, for my throat.
A glass for her throat, one for the stomach, two for her spleen. If we're not careful, there won't be an organ in that woman's body unirrigated.
We're probably all a little...
apprehensive?
There is a sense of exhilaration, of expectation. But I have faith in my actors and actresses. We are not nervous, Father.
No!
I will convey that happy assurance to the rest of your actors and actresses.
You're a little sharp with me today.
Am I?
You are not always so stern with poor Henry. Once you were very generous.
You have an effect on me no other man has had. You reduce me to silence. Mr. Ireland?
Mrs. Henry!
She adores me. Now I will show you where the Saxon hordes make their entrance.
Entertaining enough. But where the devil is Mr. Kemble?
Kemble? Johnny? 3,500. They're packed in like pilchards. Of the lower sort in the main, I won't lie to you, but paying customers. They'll be calling for you directly. I have some news. The prince is coming. He told me so himself. And boxloads of baronets and dukes. Come, sir, open the door. Your audience awaits you. As do your creditors. Our creditors. John Philip Kemble, come out.
Oh, come in.
You're in costume.
Good. Sir, I do not claim to any great eminence as an actor.
You should.
I do not as a private man pretend to any excess of virtue.
Come.
But what I am uncounterfeited. They look to me, sir, my fellow actors, my audience, to present to them in honest fashion the classic works of our noble tongue. I have given them Shakespeare. I have given them Marlowe, Johnson, Congreve. I have given them your own works, Mr. Sheridan. And will I now go forth and insult them with this underbred nonsense?
Yes, dear Johnny, you will.
3,500.
4.
Think, we'll recoup our outlay in an evening. And if the play runs for a week, say, we will make a very good amount. Hundreds upon hundreds.
Do you give me your assurance, your word that the play is genuine?
My word and my hand. Shake your old friend's hand, I beg you. Yes, it is the work of a young man learning his craft, but it is Shakespeare's. It is his, upon my honour as an author.
A week's money will not save us.
Nonsense.
Ruin. Ruin. And I am at the height of my powers.
I was talking to my son Tom the other day, and I told him, we were arguing, I'll cut you off without a shilling. And he says, by God, if you had a shilling, I'd like to see it, sir. Pretty smart, wasn't it? Quick! He's a quick boy.
I will go to Covent Garden. One day, I swear, I will go.
And we will part friends if you do, Johnny. Only put on your crown now, my king, and step out proudly. The other actors take their cue from you. They stand outside, poised, hushed, waiting.
Oh, my dear, dear friend.
Lord.
Oh, this preposterous and inhuman act doth stir up pity in the blackest hell. Heaven's aspect did foretell some ill this night, for each dread shrieking minister of darkness did chatter forth his rude and dismal song, while bellowing thunder shook the troubled earth. Have ye the traitor seized? Lies he yet dead?
Hard by, my lord, he lies reeking in blood. Despair and horror masked in each man's breast. The attempt to check their rage would have been useless. His body has become one
Gaping wound. You must step back a little, Mr. Ireland. They will hear you in the front rows. Narcissus and his echo.
By the workings of my soul, I find this was the instrument, but not the head.
We do well. Act 1 is nearly done. The man's a genius. You will be sure to tell him that, Henry.
They love it.
They love him.
He speaks the words well, I grant you that. Very well.
Then don't mince yours, man. Praise him heartily. We've 4 more acts to go.
Of these vile Scotsmen.
That's the spirit. Abuse the Hibernians. That'll keep the front row in good humour.
It reminds one of Macbeth, that last passage. Don't you think?
Schoolboy's sketch of it. Well, Will was a young man once.
Do you not like the play, sir?
I could not love it more had I written each line myself.
Do you ever regret that you laid your own pen down? If you forgive my impertinence.
I do forgive your impertinence. Most heartily. Have no doubts upon that score.
I think, after this is over, I might venture to write a little myself. A play, perhaps, or an heroic poem. Something on a large scale would suit my talents, I think, and in the least I will not appear before the public a stranger. How would you advise me as to subject? Milton had a mind once to write on Arthur and his noble knights. An epic. I might attempt it.
Good God.
I wonder that you gave it up, writing. I do, really. I could not. One day I swear I will write such a thing.
Well, I've not dwindled down to an absolute obscurity. I'm a member of Parliament. One of the foremost orators of the age, my wife tells me. Poor soul.
It's not writing, though, is it?
No. But it would be a hard matter for a man of my years to leapfrog over his own youthful eminence. The attempt might be pitiable.
Act 1 is over. The action's set, but the ending? That's uncertain. They are enraptured, the audience?
Are they?
They might be, who can tell?
I'm as nervous as a scalded cat. Have you read Mr. Malone's pamphlet? I read a page or 2 this afternoon. No?
No.
And who is this Mr. Malone, you ask?
I do?
Why, Mr. Malone is the foremost Shakespearean critic in the country. But what of that?
He's behind you.
Pardon?
The old fella. The father. Ask him.
Ask him?
Ask him if his son's a sly cousining whelp.
I will. Sir? Sir?
That is a very becoming...
Gown? Necklace? Wig?
I'm in the way here.
No, stay, Mr. Ireland. I like you. You're a comfortable sort. I like you a great deal better than I do your son.
He is a...
Puppy? Poltroon?
a good boy. But a little...
We can agree on that.
When I was a boy, I had...
What? Let me see. What did you have as a boy? Might you mime it a little, sir?
a stutter. It has left me a little halt-tongued. I hope you can...
Forgive me, sir. I am a comic actress and am woefully miscast as poor put-upon Flavia. It makes me anxious. It makes me cross. I was very rude to you.
Not in the least. You are...
The most charming young woman you have ever met. You flatter me. Although it is true, upon occasion I am. Upon the stage I can transmodify myself to anything. Except this woeful creature of your son's, lovelorn Flavia. There is something I would ask you concerning the play, sir.
I am your servant. Ask what you will. I am this day the happiest... in England. Never a man more so. Never a man more proud.
Oh, Lord. Well, then, what will I ask now? How drunk is Mrs. Powell?
She seems a little...
Well, and if she is, does it matter? She can sway and stagger and swallow her words, and they will call it sublime, the most affecting portrayal of female grief, whereas I will trip on and be pelted with orange peel.
No, that is...
Don't disagree with me, I beg you. I can bear anything but to be contradicted.
You will be...
Home, with my feet in a basin of hot water in 3 hours. I believe you. It's a marvellous contrivance of time that it passes, and the most dreadful moment is no sooner before us than it is behind us and gone forever.
You are a philosopher.
I hope you are one. I do indeed. I will give you a kiss, Mr. Ireland. And then, by God, I will screw my courage to the sticking place. Damn Shakespeare and all his bastard brood.
You're on, Mrs. J.
Alas, 'tis true. I too have seen my father, and harshly has he urged my breach of vow to my Aurelius, and to pledge my love to one my soul abhors. Say then, my brother, is that...
It started.
What?
The enemy clack, sir. They're well positioned and they know their business.
Clack?
Yes, you know. The Tory boys or the mob from Covent Garden, or a bit of both. We shall see the brickbats fly tonight.
Brickbats?
Mr. Sheridan, sir, I have them sighted. Front, back, and a box to the left. One box at least.
Kemble will keep order. He will quell them, the devils. Are there many in? What of our own men?
Oh, they'll stand to like Britons. Maybe they're outnumbered, but they have their pride, they respect their profession. They'll not let us down.
What does this mean?
How much outnumbered?
Our boys will clap and cheer and call huzzahs like heroes. I know them. Never fear, Mr. Sheridan. We'll drown any amount of mobs and gangs and cliques and clacks. All will end in triumph.
Do I understand you to mean...
Swallow and start again.
that there are individuals willing to disrupt...
Paid to. It is a continental custom. We may fight the French at every turn, but we must follow the fashion. They have clacks, sir, paid, sir, to boo any play all the way to perdition. We do the like. We in Drury Lane have our men, and they in Covent Garden have theirs. The bully boys on the first night, theirs and ours. Then we pay critics to praise our plays, and they fee whatever scurrilous scribblers they can find to damn them. Am I right, Mr. Sheridan?
You are standing backstage now, Mr. Ireland. You see us with all our tricks and shifts exposed. Excuse me.
4 months' money that man owes me. He owes us all. Last throw of the dice this play, dear old Sherry.
He is a great...
Coxcomb. Well, I wouldn't say that. Not that he isn't vain, proud, drunk, indebted and an Irishman. Interval, sir. Why don't you take the air?
They told me I might find you here. I thought your performance very good. Exceedingly good.
You are too kind.
You could be kinder.
Stand off a little further, please. The blaze of your triumph quite scorches me.
Come.
I came here for a moment's quiet.
To a back alley at the side of a theatre. Some might remark your presence here.
I am not a whore, if such was your imputation.
I meant, I was talking of appearances.
Then let me talk of yours. An ass in a lion's skin.
What do you mean?
Will I ask him if this play, this farrago, this rank piece of imposition was written by Shakespeare or himself?
In years to come, it may be your proudest boast that you knew me.
He doesn't answer. Note.
All my life, absolutely from the first moment I knew myself, I knew I had a genius. A spirit that walked beside me, that breathed ambition. Not for wealth, not for position. I was to be one of the immortals. I knew that. I would storm Parnassus. I would make those high, glorious peaks my own.
He forged the play, he confesses, albeit crookedly.
No.
You forged the play, and not, it must be said, so you could scale the heights of any literary conceit. You did it, sir, for £300 sterling.
No!
That is what Mr. Sheridan, in a fit, one must assume, of ungovernable idiocy, paid you, outbidding the management of Covent Garden and ushering us all into the debtor's prison. I will not die in one, as my mother did.
I did not forge it. It was no fraud.
The theatre, Drury Lane, lies at the bottom of an ocean of debt, shipwrecked. There's not one more fool in London will lend Sheridan a penny when this play fails. We are undone. I am undone. Have you given one thought to that?
Oh, for a muse of fire that would ascend the brightest heaven of invention. That's what we pray for, us poets. A muse of fire. A muse of any kind. I was not born to be a lawyer's clerk. Look at me. I'm not framed for it. You must understand me, you above all others. When you step upon the stage in the costume of poor Flavia, her disordered hair about your shoulders, her wild, passionate words ready in your mouth, all the eyes of the world fixed on you, believing in you, who are you then? A mere actress? Her spirit possesses you. His soul possessed mine. His hand moved my hand. The words wrote themselves. Do you think it's given to every man to say that once, for a moment of time, he was, in absolute truth, he was Shakespeare?
There's a man in Wapping believes he's the Archangel Gabriel. Perhaps he is. You are an eloquent man. You speak well, I will grant you that. I will grant you anything you like if you will leave me in peace.
Anything?
I have made my submission. You have made your boast of it, I know. Will you not go? Have mercy on a vanquished enemy?
Are you my enemy?
Yes. Oh, assuredly, yes. You are altogether the prettiest thing I ever saw, and I hate you very cordially. You have not hurt my heart overmuch, but my livelihood. Oh, that you have harmed, and I will not forgive it.
I thought so. I thought as much. Yes, when you tripped on the stage and winked and smirked and showed your ankles to the audience, I thought, poor soul, poor thing, she knows no better. Then you spoke, and I thought, she can do no better. She can do no better than to air a little shop-soiled sentiment and miss entirely the great heart-breaking tragedy that Flavia endures. I thought it incapacity and pitied you. Now I know. You mean to ruin me. By your performance you will undermine the play and ruin me.
Fool. You fool. Do you think I or any actor would subvert a play they were performing in, expose it and thus themselves to mockery? No. We are not so false. I am called for.
What a doleful, woeful sound. Act 2. Or 3. And 4 and 5 to go. Lord, the boy wrote by the yard, if not exactly to the metre. Oh, there's a line. A good line. And none to hear it. I must toast myself. To dear old Sherry. to that cracked glass. But mostly I will drink damnation to all snivelling, to all self-pitying. Do you know, as I look in the mirror here, it is not much like a carbuncle, my nose. Red, certainly, and uneven, but it has its line, its sweep, a worn nobility. And it does not resemble a cork, not in the least, however that double-damned cartoonist draws me. Am I the only man in London who takes his bottle like a gentleman? Am I the only one suffocated with debt? The king is in debt, the prince, the man who collects dog shite from the street is in debt, and the man that writes I'm bankrupt, he's in debt. I wish my chin did not sag. I could wish that.
Vegetables!
What the devil?
Mr. Sheridan, upon my honour, vegetables.
I beg your pardon?
They threw a turnip upon the stage. Oh, heavens! In your great mercy, aid me now. My brain grows hot. I can no longer bear it. Oh, I am distracted. If sleep will quiet me, I'll do the poppy, and with its juices drench these feverish lips.
You go and have a nice lie down, my lady. You're not needed for a while. And I'll bring you along a drop of your medicine, won't I, Mr. Sheridan?
You have exposed me to humiliation.
Mrs. Park.
I refuse to endure it. Do you hear me? I will not go back upon that stage tonight.
Truth is, sir, it is cutting up a bit unkind out there. It's the Tories, sir. They sent their ruffians in, and they aren't men of the theatre. They ain't civil. Fruit is one matter, but turnips are another. Though in truth, it's not only them. The audience taken together, they know.
Where is Kemble?
Mr. Kemble is removing his armour and swearing very heartily he will not go back on neither.
Ask him. My compliments. Ask him to come to me.
I can ask.
Only he can save us now. Say I said that.
Between the old coxcomb and the young fool, they've written us off entirely.
Sir.
Take off your crown, dear friend. We are alone.
Yes, I throw it from me. I abdicate.
Firstly, you are the ornament of the age and the profession, and deserve everything a grateful management can bestow upon you.
Humiliation.
Let me explain myself.
I had your word. I had your word that the play was genuine.
I gave you my word, yes. Not the word of a gentleman in this instance, but the word of an author.
Oh.
Authors are a pack of plagiarising pickpockets. We steal, sir. We scavenge. We pack our poor works with other men's choice cuts. I hoped the boy had found some fragments and bound them together to make something that might bear scrutiny. The audience, it appears, has a keener nose than I.
Can you hear them, the audience? Can you?
A drink, a good round glass of finest claret. Take a glass, I beg you.
Howling and hooting, a pack of damned dogs. Listen.
They're quiet enough now.
Until my next entrance. It will get worse. I cannot be expected to perform in the midst of a riot. I will not. Do you hear me? Oh.
Why are dogs so traduced, I wonder?
What?
Do you know what I've planned next for the theatre? This fresh-built temple to the muses? What, sir? A comedy of manners? A tragedy in 7 acts? An opera? No. I have bingo booked. And who is Bingo, you ask?
I don't.
The most engaging animal in creation, I assure you. A dog, sir, but no common canine he. He can ride the seesaw, swim, fetch and carry, of course, count to 20. I saw him do that with my own eyes. And his finale is the most affecting thing I ever saw in my life. I swear it. Picture the scene. The wounded soldier out in the burning desert. Brave Bingo, his last hope of being rescued. Off the animal trots to find help. Mile after mile, his poor little paws. He finds the regimental sergeant major.
I have no desire to listen to this.
He finds the regimental sergeant major, and he reads the message wrapped round Bingo's collar. The soldiers saved. Rejoice! But what's this? What's wrong?
What?
Poor Bingo is exhausted from his heroical exertions. The poor dog whimpers. He falls to the floor, rises, falls, pants pitiably, lifts his ragged paws to heaven in supplication, and then, to the inexpressible grief of the audience, expires. That is what will appear on this stage in this auditorium next month. If you fail.
Good.
Oh, no, Mr. Kemble, it is not good. It is far from good. You and I, are the upholders of a tradition. Your family and mine have for generations...
I won't listen to that again.
Good God, man, it's only a clack or two at work. Some bought boyos. You've dealt with worse.
I have dealt with you, Lord Sheridan.
I have no such title. I would accept no such title.
The title, no, maybe not, but all the rest...
I have introduced you into the finest houses in London.
I am an actor. Bingo's better half. How did you put it? The poor dog whimpers. He falls to the floor, rises, falls, lifts his ragged paws to heaven in supplication, and then expires. I do that. Every last action, except I speak. Words that the likes of you give me to say. We may play Hamlet, but all actors are fools, clowns. That's how the world judges us.
Neither of us believes that.
And I am a Catholic, and who knows if I don't on occasion raise a glass to the king over the water. I am not to be trusted.
John, frankly now, we're old friends. The play is the play. You may blame me for buying it, but Covent Garden was as keen as I to come to terms. And at first glance, at second glance, I thought it passed muster. John, you will not abandon us. Your fellow actors and your friends? I will go on my knees before you.
Will you?
I will. I beg you most pleadingly not to punish your poor fellows for my fault.
I never had the least intention of doing such a thing.
Thank you.
I would not give you the satisfaction.
Silence! Silence! To you have been explained our late dispatches. Say, did we not invite these princes home and tender them the crown? Yet do we find they come with foreign aid and civil war to bear the sway and empire over us. Can any present say why this should be?
Go on! Say your line! Will you say your line, you jack pudding? They are the sons of our late king.
No! They are the sons of our late king, 'tis true.
Oh, there's a man, if you like. He has the measure of them. He'll outface them. The greatest actor of this or any age.
Have you seen
the like of it? No.
my son?
Oh, he'll be down at old Mother Shipton's trying to taste us something. At least that's where I'd be if I was him. It'll be a race to see who closes with him after the curtain's down. Hustle the audience. He's put paid to us. There'll be no second showing of this masterpiece. What? Come on, sir. The truth is out, the deceit exposed. I can't speak plainer. The play's a piece of make-believe. Your son wrote it, sold it, your boy's been and buggered us.
It's a lie.
Oh, yes, he did.
My son found the manuscript. He found it and brought it to me. We had no thought of profit. We thought only of the inestimable treasure we had discovered and how the world would rejoice in the discovery. All my life I have idolatized Shakespeare. What words, what sentiments.
Stutter's all gone, I see. You're a tribe, you two.
I know the truth. My son is an honest boy, a good boy. He would not do... If you were to send to his principal for his character, Mr. Horton would tell you...
Oh, there you are.
What?
He works as a law clerk, your son. If you can think of a better place to learn the forger's art than a lawyer's office, tell me. Pray tell me. Yeah, cat got your tongue, has it?
Has it started? The riot? Thank God my last scene's done. And I gave them as wooden a performance as the boards I walked on. Well, I came to no harm, at least. Unlike my lover, dear, what's his name? Got a cabbage stalk in the eye. Look at what they're throwing now. If we sweep the stage with the makings of a soup, the Lord defend us.
My dear.
Here come the Saxons, doomed.
Steady, lads.
They look so young, poor loves. At least their names are not on the playbill. They can perish discreetly. Well, someone, for the love of heaven, unpin this wig. I have half a horse on my head still, and the worst of it that.
If I can...
You?
Madam.
The author and only begetter of all our woes, unless your wife imposed a counterfeit on you. Your son has destroyed us.
I take my oath. You can't believe it. It is enemies, liars, cheats, villains. Where is my son?
He'll be apoplexy in a minute.
Come, sir. You must sit down. There. Rest here, sit down. We are quite out of the way here. I will send one of the boys for a drop of something.
It was a marriage. Unfortunate. Foolish. Contracted by a foolish boy. Unhappy. She was, I was, he was. Yet when she died, I was desolate. Utterly undone.
If you released my hand, sir, I could go and find assistance.
Henry was 12.
A trying age.
He would sit up night after night to bear me company. 4 years ago, he brought me a script, a hand script, a personal...
A signature.
Shakespeare's. A present for my nativity. What a joy. Unalloyed. Excessive almost. He found it on an old bill of goods, or a will, or a witnessed will, or some such legal instrument. That was the start. Then he found a snatch of verse, then a letter, and then this. The play. The pinnacle. Our triumph.
Courage, my noble sir!
Time was, alas, I needed not this spur. Then did I think myself indeed a god, but I was far deceived. I was sore deceived. This is the truth, my friends, my dear and noble friends. Oh, sovereign death, thou hast for thy domain this world immense. Churchyards and charnel houses are their haunts. Oh, then thou dost ope wide thy bony jaws, and with rude laughter and fantastic tricks, thou claps thy rattling fingers to thy sides. And when this solemn mockery is o'er,
Let it be soon, dear God. 2 more scenes only.
I do the asides, dear boy, not you. Stand in my shadow and observe me win the day.
Come in. My dear old friend, Ruin, come in. What a comforting sight you are. So familiar. Like family. I've seen you wink at me at the gaming table, whisper tales of destruction from empty wine bottles, but I won't complain that you arrived tonight in such a homely guise. I won't, I assure you. Sit down. Where have you been?
I've been hiding in the props cupboard.
An odd spot.
I could hear them on the stage from there. He's making a mockery of my work. He guys it, speaks the lines with a smirk, makes them laugh. The whole theatre is laughing.
I used to enjoy that, but then I was not a writer of tragedy. He acts to forestall a riot.
I would like to kill the villain.
It may be, and I will certainly tell him this, that he has saved our lives, yours especially.
I will kill myself.
No.
They're your enemies. Rabble. They were bought by your enemies. They seek to humiliate you.
In part, but the audience, the innocent audience, if such a thing exists, smelt out the botched concoction you brought to market and cried foul on their own account.
I will kill myself. Another Chatterton.
Think of your father. You're all the world to him, poor man.
My father.
What'll you tell him?
I deceived you. The greatest writer of the age. Of old age. But I will be the greatest writer of mine.
So swears every boy with his own inkpot. I swore it, and then, by a kind of miracle, I was. What a spark I was. And regard me now, extinguished. Very sad. Very, very sad.
You're drunk.
But sometimes I am sober. You, morning and night, in season or out, are always the same pernicious little puppy. So, sir, what is your remedy for this? What do we do? My theatre is ruined. I am ruined. And most starkly of all, you are ruined.
My dear loves, I thank you.
I have seen your Coriolanus, your Marcus Antony, and your Lear, but never have I seen so heroical a performance. In their teeth! You did it in their teeth!
Well, it had to be done.
Garrick himself could have done no better. I'll give you Mr. Kemble, who saved us, for this one night at least, but no more. We must look to ourselves in the future, lads and ladies.
And, on that subject, a word.
What?
I have a cousin
Is that your hand upon my sleeve?
who is footman at Burlington House. He, our master, Lord Sherry, won £50 last night at the cards.
What?
He said £50. My cousin saw the notes. He can't have spent it. Now's our chance for a little recompensing. His conscience will be hurting him. £5 for me? 4?
3
Guineas.
Johnny, are we safe? Can we make our escape? Mrs. Powell is being carried from dressing room to dressing room in convulsions, and I have the old man Samuel Ireland, half dazed, half crazed upon the box there, wringing his hands and crying for his board.
Where is he, that fiend? A horsewhip, my kingdom for a horsewhip.
Run off, the coward.
Young Henry in your dressing room, Your Honour, along with Mr. Sheridan. I saw him sneak there. There's not a moment to lose if we mean business. Ching, ching.
The two of them, by God, I hate them. Crammed to the crown of their heads with vanity. Insufferable. They think themselves gods. It's all words, words, words with them. We give the thing life. We pass off their dead lead as burnished gold. Writers, pox them.
Oh, men to that.
Come on then, madam, attend me.
This'll be it. Last scene now. When they all end up stabbed or married, married or stabbed. Ear to the door now.
Mr. Kemble, I have never in all my life seen so complete, so emphatic an entrance. Welcome.
Firstly, I will say this.
Say what you like.
On your feet, my boy, there's a lady present.
Indeed there is, and I will speak.
I am not a forger.
My congratulations to you both, to all the company, in the most challenging of circumstances.
You are nothing but a clown.
You acquitted yourself with...
Did he call me a clown?
I think he did.
Let me claim to be the target of that insult. The boy's distraught. Pass on.
You ruined my play. You destroyed it and me. They laughed.
And if he'd not turned the moment, what then? It's a sharp wind tonight. They would have burned the theatre to the ground. I know a London mob.
You know what I have come for.
Money, you imagine. How do you do, Mrs. J? Will you not sit down? Mrs. Powell.
I imagine.
Why, yes, but the pleasure of seeing me abased in the judgment of the world will afford you a keener pleasure than any amount of money. Though I know in your way you love me. You love me, but you do not wish me well.
You talk too much.
I do. I spoke once for 7 hours in the house, and only nature's necessities forced me from the chamber to the chamber pot.
We are not talking about you.
Indeed not. You are the hero of the hour. So, by what marvellous stratagem will you save us? Will you discover yourself to be my long-lost son? Or, better, a nobleman in disguise who will buy up the theatre and all our debts, marry Mrs. J, and forswear the stage forever?
If he's rich, and more particularly if he forswears the stage forever, I will make the sacrifice.
Mr. Ireland Senior, you come upon your cue.
Henry, we must go home.
Father,
I can't find my coat.
I will find it for you, never fear. Are you sure?
I'm very well. Tired? It's time I was in bed. We must go home. You will excuse us.
Let me assure you...
I need no assurance. You are an honest man. Who knows that better than I? You found the play and brought it to public attention for the most honourable of motives. There are always misbelievers, always doubters.
Your speech?
Yes, I am able to speak without pause, without... whatever the word is. All this tumult, the excitement, acted upon me in some way.
Will you take a glass, Mr. Ireland?
Good girl, no. Your arm, Henry, we must go.
I cannot permit this. He must be punished.
Let them go.
Will they be safe outside? 100 at least of the ruffians remain, at the least.
Indeed. Yes, the mob. Well, here's the pill. Open your mouth wide, Henry. You cannot go home.
No.
Not this evening. Not for many evenings.
What is he talking about?
I don't know.
Think, man, every sixpence spent tonight on this farrago by our audience will cry out for vengeance. If they find you, God bless them, they will break every bone in your body. They will.
France?
France.
France?
There's the dawn coach to Dover, a day or two to Paris. I can give you letters of introduction. Something will be found for you, Henry. Some work.
My father, sir, is an old man. He's never left the city in his life. You're talking madness.
Forgery and fraud are kissing cousins. The law might take a warm interest in your affairs. Think, you have played hazard and lost. You must bear it.
I can bear anything. My father, though, and France.
Let me assist you.
What is this?
It's banknotes. To the value of £50.
What a keen eye you have. Yes, exactly £50.
You intend to give them to this mountebank? Your money, our money, my money.
I cannot accept.
Thank you, sir. God will reward you for your generosity. Come, Henry.
I won't go. I won't leave. I will face my enemies. I will face them down.
Come, Henry. Enough.
Madam,
Yes?
I will say something to you.
Then speak.
Private audience.
The climax of the piece, I think not.
This is, I know, the most inauspicious of moments, the most inauspicious, but Paris is a pleasant town.
It is?
And we at times have liked one another, perhaps loved, almost loved one another.
Perhaps.
Will you
Marry me?
come with me?
Goodbye, Mr. Ireland.
But...
Farewell. Fear not. I and the world will eventually forget you.
Henry, your servant, madam. Your servant, one and all.
You think me beaten? You think me whipped? Well, I am a bird of a different colour. I am a phoenix. All these ashes, these disappointments, I will rise above them. I will write such things.
That, Henry, I very much doubt. Make us a speech, Mr. Kemble. Make us laugh and cry.
No, I will not be charmed, distracted, or cajoled. Not now, and never again. Not another word from me.
Or me.
I'm for Covent Garden.
We are both for Covent Garden.
Madam, if you please. If, Mr. Sheridan, you wish to hear me speak again, come there. 5 shillings the box, I believe.
He'll be back in a month.
2. He's stiff-necked. And now a toast.
To whom?
To the one person, to the only person who can save us now. To Bingo.
In Shakespeare's Vortigern and Rowena by Melissa Murray, Sheridan was played by Lorcan Cranich and Kemble by Alex Jennings. The stagehand was Ben Crow, Mrs. Jordan, Alison Pettit, Mrs. Powell, Joanna Munro, Henry, Rufus Wright, Samuel, Bruce Alexander, and the actor was David Seddon. The play was directed by Mark Beebe.